So here we are. We're going to take a look at how we can use the sine law. So here is the sine law for you, okay? Remember, it's this relationship between your side lengths and then the opposite angle, okay? So if I take the sine of angle A and I divide it by its opposite side length A, it will be the same, it'll be equal to if I take the sine of angle B and divide it by side length B, okay? And if I take the sine of angle C and divide it by side length C. And I can write this relationship this way, so I can say it's A over, or I could say it's, right? I could rewrite this same relationship in this way. It means the same thing. It's just ratios, right? I can turn them around, but that means I have to turn all of them around. But either way, that works. Okay, so let's look at this situation. We've got two triangles and it says, hey, find the length of the missing side or angle to the nearest tenth. Okay, so if we look at question number one, as you can see, I have an angle, it's 75 degrees, and another angle, which is 60 degrees. But if you notice, angle A and little a are both known, so I know what they are. This is what I refer to as my money ratio. And the reason why this is my money ratio is because I know both pieces. I know the 75-degree angle and I know the side length opposite to it. This ratio here between the angle B and little b, this is not a money ratio because I only know one of my angles, but I don't know the side length. Okay, so I'm going to use the money ratio to help myself out. So I'm going to say, okay, I have A over sine of angle A. And according to the sine law, it should equal side length B over the sine of angle B. So I'm going to take 14 as my side length for A. I'm going to take the sine of 75 degrees, and it should equal whatever side length B is over the sine of 60 degrees. So when you go to calculate this, you are going to cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to cross multiply 14 times sine of 60 degrees, and I'm going to divide it by sine of 75 degrees. So here, B will equal 14 multiplied by the sine of 60 degrees. And you can use your calculator for this, that's fine. Divided by the sine of 75 degrees. When you do this division, you're going to get that B is equal to 12.6 centimeters. Okay? Pretty simple. Awesome. For question number two, this time we're looking for a missing angle. We're looking for angle D right here. And again, I'm going to use the sine law. So here's my two opposites, like my opposite side length and my angle. And then as you can see, the money ratio is right here. It's 60 degrees, which I know, and also the side length, which I know. So I'm going to do sine of 60 degrees over 57.1 is equal to the sine of angle D, which I do not know, over 43.6. So again, I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So that means that the sine of D is going to be equal to that calculation. So it'll be like 43.6 multiplied by sine of 60 over 57.1. That is going to equal the sine of that. That's not angle D, it's the sine of angle D. And once I know what that ratio is, you can do that calculation first if you want, or you can jump straight. I'm just going to rewrite this way. Sine of angle D is equal to 43.6 times sine 60 over 57.1. Okay, I can just leave it like that. That's fine. But that's not my angle, okay? That's the sine of my angle. So actually this number, whatever you calculate that to be, is just going to be your ratio, your sine of angle D. So in order to find angle D, I'm going to have to take the inverse sine of this whole entire thing, okay? So I'm literally going, you can throw it into your calculator exactly how I'm writing it out, or you can figure out what this calculation is first. Like you could calculate this first. It'll be some decimal number. It'll be like 0 point something something. And you can take the inverse of that. If you are going to change this to a decimal, that's totally okay. Just make sure that that decimal is 4 place values, because then you're less likely to you're gonna, if you keep 4 place values, it just means that your number will be pretty accurate. Okay, so throw that into your calculator. When you take the inverse tan, you're gonna find that, or sorry, the inverse sine is what I meant to say. When you take the inverse sine, your angle D should be 41.4 degrees, and that's this angle right in here, angle D.